All right, there are only 2 examples for this lesson. All right, so we're doing the exact same thing as yesterday. The only difference is that we've added a picture to represent a situation, okay? So we're wanting to figure out this missing side when we're given the area and we're given one of the side lengths. So since we know area of a rectangle is base times height, right? We are given our height, essentially, and we need to figure out our base, okay? Or it doesn't matter which one you put in for what. So we're gonna plug in our area. We're gonna say 2x cubed minus 2x minus 12. That's our area polynomial. Equals our base times our height. Well, if I want to find the base, then I need to get b by itself so that I can know what b equals, right? So since it's multiplied by this binomial, I'm going to do the opposite and I'm going to divide by that binomial. In doing that, these 2 binomials would cancel out. And then whatever I did to the right side, I have to do to the left side as well. So I'm also going to divide this side by that same binomial. Okay? So my base is going to equal whatever this trinomial is divided by this binomial, okay? One thing I want to go ahead and notice before I start dividing these is that I'm missing a term. I have an x to the 3rd power and then x and then no x's, okay? So I've skipped a term. When I have x to the 3rd power, it then needs to go x to the 2nd power, x, and then just a number, right? So right now I've gone x to the 3rd, I've skipped x squared, all right? So I have to put a placeholder of a 0x squared in there. So we're gonna do, I hope I have enough room. We're gonna do 2x minus 4 divided into 2x cubed plus 0x squared minus 2x minus 12. Okay. So then, remember our steps from yesterday. Our first step is to divide the leaders. So my leader for this binomial is the 2x. Leader for this polynomial inside is the 2x to the 3rd power. Okay, so I'm going to divide them. Go off to the side over here. So 2x cubed divided by 2x. Well, 2 divided by 2 is 1. And if I have 3 x's on top, that's what x cubed means. You have 3 x's and 1 on bottom. 1 would cancel out with 1, leaving you 2. So you would get an x squared. You have those 2 x's left, right? Step 2 was to multiply. All right, so x squared times 2x gives us a 2x cubed. It should give you what you had above, that leader. And then x squared times a negative 4 is a negative 4x squared. The next step is to subtract. So we're going to subtract, which changes the sign of both. So positive becomes negative, and a negative becomes positive. So this cancels, and then 0 plus 4 gives us a 4x squared. Then we bring down that next term. Okay? And then we have a new leader now, right? So now we're going to divide these leaders. So 4x squared divided by 2x. 4 divided by 2 is 2. If I have x squared divided by x, 2 x's on top, 1 on bottom would cancel out. One of the ones on top, leaving you just 1x. So positive 2x. And we're going to distribute again, or multiply again. So 2x times 2x is 4x squared. 2x times a negative 4 would give us a negative 8x. And we're going to change the sign of both. So these cancel, and we get a negative 2x plus 8x is 6x. Bring down our minus 12. Okay. This is our last leader to divide. I don't have any more terms to bring down. Okay, so I'm doing 6x divided by 2x. 1x and 1x cancels out, just 1. So 6 divided by 2 is 3. and we're going to multiply. So 3 times 2x is 6x. 3 times a negative 4 is a negative 12. If you change the sign on both to subtract, then they both cancel out. So we have a 0 remainder, which means this was our answer. Okay, so this missing side was x squared plus 2x plus 3. Okay? All right, so same thing, but this time we're finding, oops, I forgot to put a question mark here. We're finding the missing side of a triangle, which has a slightly different formula. It's 1/2 times your base times your height, okay? It doesn't change much at all. Okay, so we're gonna plug in our area. 6x squared minus 2x minus 28 equals 1/2 times, times our base times our height, which is 2x plus 4. Okay, so we need to get our base by itself, which means we need to do two things. We need to cancel out the 1/2 and we need to cancel out the height, right? The 2x plus 4. You could do it either way first. You can go ahead and cancel out the 1/2 and then divide by your 2x plus 4, or you can divide by your 2x plus 4 and then multiply by your 1/2. If you wanted to work with smaller numbers, smaller values, it may be easiest to cancel out the height first and then cancel out the 1/2. So let's do that. So I'm going to divide by that same binomial, so these would cancel each other out. And whatever I did to this side, I had to do to this side. Okay, so let's go ahead and divide these. We're going to do 2x plus 4 into, notice I have x squared, x, and then a number. So I'm not missing any terms, right? So I don't have to add any placeholders. Okay. And we can go ahead and get started dividing our leaders. So we have 6x squared divided by 2x. 6 divided by 2 is 3. If you have 2 x's on top and only 1 on the bottom, the 1 would cancel out one of the 2, leaving you just 1x. And then we multiply. So 3x times 2x is a 6x squared. 3x times 4 is a 12x. We're going to subtract. So I'm going to change the sign of both of these. And negative 2x minus 12x would give me a negative 14x. Minus 28, we brought it down. And that was our last term to bring down, so this is our last leader to divide. Okay, so divided by 2x. Negative 14 divided by 2 is a negative 7. X divided by x, they cancel out. So we get minus 7. And then we're going to multiply. So negative 7 times 2x is a negative 14x. Negative 7 times 4 is a negative 28. Change the sign on both and they both cancel. So this is our answer right now. That's not our missing side yet, right? Because this is a triangle. We still have that 1/2 times our base. We need to get the b by itself in order to figure out what the base is, okay? So what we've done is combined those, right? So we are still left with our 1/2 base, right? We canceled these out, so we're left with 1/2 base on that side equals, and we divided this out to get our 3x minus 7, okay? Now the opposite of multiplying by a 1/2 would be to divide by a 1/2, but when you divide, you flip, right? So really the opposite of dividing or multiplying by 1/2 would be to multiply by its opposite, which would be 2, or 2 over 1, same thing. So we're going to multiply this side by a 2 also. And then we're going to distribute. So 2 times 3x is 6x, and 2 times a negative 7 would be a negative 14, which means my base is 6x minus 14. That's our answer.